What is going on, people? Welcome to a live reaction. We are here to announce our second signing under Oliver Glasner and more. There is a lot of news coming out today. Ryan Sessegnon, a player that me and T have been speaking about, is potentially training at Palace already. Plus, loads of other rumors. But of course, the main talking point is going to be on Daichi Kamada. So if you do enjoy this, hit the like button for our new player and also subscribe and get involved in the chat. Let us know what you think about the new signing, which has been on the line for about a month or so, but now it is officially announced, and here we are to talk all about it. Joined by I'll say familiar face, but he's been kind of, he's disappeared over the summer. Patrick's here. Patrick, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. You put crazy allegations that I'm late, which, I mean, I wasn't even late. That's a funny thing. You was a bit early. But apart from that, I mean, have you been enjoying golf? What's life like without Palace?
Life is great. I've got a life. Busy June, daughter's birthday, father-in-law's birthday, family stuff, traveling. Life is good. Playing a little golf.
That's good. That's good. You ready for the new season? Are you excited?
No, it can wait. When does it get here? August? I'm good. August is good. I'm good. No need to rush it.
It was a bit more time off. But it's good. It's good that Palace ain't playing games. We knew that this signing would be happening this week. 1st of July, his contract is over at Lazio, and Daichi Kamada is a Crystal Palace player. He's the 27-year-old attacking midfielder, which we're going to be talking about. Could he be Elise's replacement? Do we need more? Where would he fit in? And more as well. We're going to be talking all about that in this episode, and we'll be hearing from you as well. Kamada, who actually, great videos from Palace, by the way, about his signing. The animation is all great, but we haven't actually seen him in a Palace kit, but it has been announced, so he's a Palace player. But he has said the following. He said, I'm excited to join Crystal Palace and be working with Oliver. The reason why he's saying Oliver is because he's worked under Oliver Glasner at his previous job. And he said that who is a coach I know well. Again, I'm looking forward to testing myself in the Premier League, and hopefully the club and I can achieve all of our objectives together. Steve Parish has said that, he's one of the best attacking midfielders in recent seasons in Europe, and his experience, technical quality, and commitment mark him out as an excellent addition to our already talented squad. Yes, I mean, Kamada's excited to work with Glasner again. I think that's a major key talking point. T, me and you have spoke about it already, and we're going to get your thoughts as well as my thoughts. But Patrick, let's start off with you. Kamada, 27 years old, so more on the experience side of things. He was linked long before even Elise potentially leaving the club.
No, stop. He's left. What do you mean potentially leaving the club? He's leaving. He's gone.
I thought you don't like rumors. I thought you like
it's done.
Now, until Elise holds a Bayern Munich kit, he's still a Crystal Palace player as we speak today.
Did Kamada hold up a Palace kit? You just say he didn't hold up a kit.
But I mean, the club haven't announced it. The club haven't announced Elise leaving yet. But
Elise is gone. So let's move on.
What have you made of the Kamada signing? Are you happy with it?
No, I like it. I like it a lot. Obviously, his familiarity with Glasner is a big point. Positive, because again, he knows how to play in that 3-4-2-1 system. He can play like 4 of the positions there. He can play midfield. He can play the 10. He can play as a striker. He's very technically gifted. He can create goals, score goals. He's a ball carrier. Very good pass of the ball. No, I think it's a very, very good signing. I knew once it was rumored that it would probably happen, and I'm really happy it's official.
Yeah, T, when it comes down to it, I think it's going to be learn my levels of impact on terms of free transfer. I don't think this is a free transfer for free transfer's sake. I think this is a quality free transfer. And we're going to be looking at this halfway through the season and saying, how on earth did we buy this player for free? I think it's another, as Dino says, Dougie right on the money again. Talk about money. He hasn't spent any money technically or in terms of transfer fees, but it's a great gem find. And it seemed like he was Oliver Glasner playing a part as well, of course, on his former player.
I love the fact that you said the phrase "buy this player for free." No,
there's money involved apart from the transfer fee, just signing on fee and all that. I'm trying to save myself.
No, it's just the.
But that's good. You're awake. You're listening. That's good. That's good.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. Like, this is a high level signing, even though it just happens to be a free transfer. You know what I mean? And it's high level for us in a lot of ways. It's not just the fact that it's a very quality player that we're signing. It's a player that's very much in his prime, but he has a lot of um, wherewithal when it comes to our system, to our coach, which means a huge deal as far as naturally being able to step right in, understand, and play. Because I think one of the things you hear a lot is, well, you get a new transfer in. It's like, how long is it going to take to get going and to get used to the system and things like that. And it's in a situation where this time that's not going to be a part of the case because he understands the system, he understands the roles, he knows what he needs to do and what's expected on a day-to-day basis. So it's nice because you got a guy who's going to be able to hit the ground running, which is really great. That's high quality player. So really looking forward to seeing him. It really interesting to just hearing from him. You know what I'm saying? Seeing him do his interview and things like that too. So
yeah, I mean, those should be done this week, hopefully. I think Palace are just literally waiting to announce this. You could tell the time and effort put into the announcement video because we did have that time and we knew that he was going to be a Crystal Palace player, just more of a timing thing because of the contract situation at Lazio, just waiting for that to expire. But I think a good talking point is the age versus experience because we're so used to nowadays being linked with players that's high potential, youth players with talent, but Kamada Patrick doesn't fit that category. He is that experienced player. Do you think it is also important, and sometimes we forget as fans, to have that experience in the side as well as the youth players?
100%. I mean, go back to when Vieira signed Joachim Anderson. Anderson wasn't as young as Gehi and Olise, etc. And we signed him, and look how great he's been as a signing. So you definitely need to have a balance. You cannot have players who are just in that 21, 22-year range and then have them and hope sell on. Got to have players with experience. And again, his experience, Bundesliga, J League, Italy. He's got vast experience. Obviously, again, won the Europa League with Glasner. So no, his experience is great. So I think it's an excellent signing. Again, the part I'm most excited about is that he knows Glasner's system, and we saw already how quickly the players who didn't know his system adjusted. Imagine a guy who knows his system already. He'll fit right in, 100%.
Yeah. Yep.
By the way, I'm pinning some questions and some statements so we can answer them. They're more of topics. So if you have any thoughts, send them through. If you have any questions about Kamada that you want answers, also ask us as well. So there's some good questions and some good topics. In fact, let's just start with one. I'm going to start off with Kevin's one. He's saying bench player, question mark. Now, I don't think Kamada... Well, with Elise and Eze, let's say Elise and Eze were at the football club, which that's not going to happen, clearly, because Elise is off. I would say Kamada would have been behind Elise, and I think it would have been very good depth option. But saying that doesn't mean that he's a bench player. I think he will still come on, and Glasner's system is very demanding, so I think he will come on majority of the games and play, maybe 15, 20, half an hour or so. So I didn't think he would be a starter, but I think now the dynamics could have potentially changed with Elise leaving, on the verge of leaving at the football club. So what do we think about Kamada's role at Crystal Palace? I'll start off with you, T. Do you think now that Elise is leaving, is he going to be the player that slots right in? And remember, I mean, we spoke about this as well. Even if Elise was staying at the football club, he wouldn't be here for the start of the season because of the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. I think at this point, with what's transpired since we found out that we're going to be getting Kamada in, I think he's a starter. I think he's an immediate starter for us. And like I said, we have the luxury of the fact that he's played in this system before. So he understands the role that he's going to be playing, what he needs to do from that position. So I think we're very, very fortunate to have someone who can step in immediately and have a significant impact. And I think what that also does for us too is it takes a little bit of pressure off of us in not only our timing and trying to find somebody else to get into that role that Michael Olise was in. It also allows us to possibly bring in a player that may not be 100% ready right now, because you can get a younger guy who can then develop behind Kamada as well. So he can learn and we can possibly bring in a high level guy, but not have to give him the pressure of playing immediately.
Yeah, Patrick, I think that's a very good point that T makes as well. When you look at, what his experience can bring, it gives us maybe that opportunity to bring in a player that might not be as polished as we want. Because for me, I don't know about you, but I think we need another player. I think getting rid of Elise and signing Kamada isn't any steps forward. I think it just balances out the books. I think Kamada and Elise would have been fantastic in terms of depth options, but now we lose Elise. I think we still need to sign another player to support Kamada, whether that's, I think Kamada, now I think it's hard to say because it depends on who we get, but I think Kamada's more leaning towards that starter role. I mean, the next player might be playing behind Kamada because one, Kamada knows Glasner, vice versa as well. Glasner knows Kamada, knows his system as well. And two, he is that experienced player. If Elise was staying, I think Elise is a better player than Kamada, so he would have started. But now I think the dynamics kind of change in terms of Kamada's role in this team with Elise going, right?
I think because of his versatility, I think the question isn't Kevin whether he's a bench, but I think he's become a squad player. And what I mean is that Palace, we're so used to, especially at the Hodgson, we're using 12 players and we're flogging them throughout the entire season. We don't put any players, we don't rotate the squad, etc. I think Kamada, again, like I mentioned before, he can play 4 positions. He can play a cam, he can play a shadow striker, he can play any attacking, he can play midfield, he can play as an 8. He's got so much versatility that for me, he's a player. Whether he starts every game or every other game, he's going to play a lot more. Last year, we know you have injuries to players like Decore we didn't expect before we got Wharton when Hughes wasn't playing. He can play next to Wharton. He can play out, he can play as 1 of 10, he can play up front if Mateta's off form or not playing well. So the point is he's a player that can fit so many different places. And again, because Glasner knows him so well, I think the opportunity for him to play a lot more than he would have played like under a different manager is there. So I wouldn't call him a bench player. I would say he's a squad player. I think a mentality is going to be different this season because he adding players like Riyadh and adding players like Kamada means that our squad gets better. So I think you'll see a lot more players playing. You're not going to see the same 12, 30 players every other match. You're going to see a lot more players getting in as far as rotation, if they're off form, if they're injured, etc. So I think he's more of a squad player than a bench player.
Yeah, and we need them squad players. But the thing is, we haven't been used to this because we haven't had it before. We would have players who are clear starters, and we have players who are just not good enough to start. And that's the problem that we've had. And that's why when we talk about depth, we talk about, we got this player on the bench, but how much of an impact could he have on the first team? Well, with Riyadh, with Kamada, these players can have an impact even if they don't start. So they are very good options. And if you want to be a good team, if you want to aim for European positions, you need to have players like this. You need to have quality players that can battle it out with the likes of Eze and whoever the next player is going to be next to Eze as that number 10 position that Elise had. So I think it's very good. I think this sign is fantastic. And there's a question here from Bollock saying, better than Lerma freebie? Do we think that he will be better than Lerma in terms of the impact that Lerma had last season? I think that's going to be very hard to beat because
I think he could be just as good.
Player of the season last season. I think different positions, even at the start of the season when we were bad, Lerma always performed. But T, for you?
I think he could be just as good. I mean, it's never an easy call before guys test the pitch and things like that because so many things can happen between now and the start of the season or during the season, but I think he definitely has the potential to be, and a lot of it is because of the reasons, some of the same reasons that we saw with Lerma is versatility. Lerma meant a heck of a lot to us because of the fact that he was able to step into a position, take over when Decore went down, play at a high level. And then when we lost players at the back, he was able to step in there. So there was a lot of value there with versatility for him. And we see, and we're talking about the same thing, potential with a guy like Kamada, and hearing Patrick go through the list of positions and things he can do and talk about like the role that he plays. Like the word that comes to mind to me, Patrick, is the word weapon. The man is you can use him as a weapon in your team because he can be deployed in many different ways. And it might be one of the reasons why you hear all of these connections with us and a guy like Joe Bellingham, because he's the same mold. He can play central midfield. He can play attacking midfield. He's played at center forward for Sunderland, and he scored goals. He's a weapon, and maybe that's the type of profile of players that Glasner really likes. He likes guys that can play at a high level across a multitude of positions.
I think what's important about these players, go on, Patrick.
No, I was going to say, just answer that question about better than Lerma. I think he'll be better because Lerma came in, didn't know who the manager was going to be, played under Hodgson for half the
That's
season,
another
2/3 of
great
the
point.
season. Whereas Kamada's coming in, knows the manager, knows the system. We have a better squad than last season. So I think that, honestly, I think Kamada will have a bigger impact than Lerma. That's saying a lot.
That's hard. I don't know. I
I
really
get why
rate
you're saying that.
Lerma.
That makes complete
Lerma was
sense, though,
very
Patrick.
good for
That's a
us.
great point. That's a great
Lerma
point.
was very good for us, even under Hodgson. I think Lerma played a massive
No,
part.
I agree. I agree. I just think
without
better.
Lerma, we would have been in the mud. So I just don't know if you could have. It's hard to judge because we're comparing two different players. Now with Kamada, I think it'll be more. People might look at his numbers, his assists, his goals, etc. With Lerma, you just judge him by what he delivers basically on the pitch. Like stats don't really prove how important he was for us last season. And as I said it before, I think he was our player of the season. I think it's season as a whole, but then you can have debates for other players. But for me, if you look at the season as a whole, Lerma was fantastic and he performed whenever we needed in different positions as well. Now, if Kamada does anything similar to that level, then he's going to be getting good amount of goals and assists. But either way, I do think in terms of, impact, even if he's not better than Lerma, I think he'll be very similar to Lerma. And the way I'm comparing it is the freebie. They're both free players, but I think they're both quality free players. And I think that's the biggest thing about both of them so far.
D, let me just give you the stats for him in the last 4 years in the Bundesliga for Kamada. 2020, 2021, 5 goals, 12 assists. 21-22, 9 goals, 4 assists. And then 2022-23, 16 goals, 6 assists. If he gets anywhere close to that, that's a big impact on Lerma.
That's the thing. But with Lerma, we can't really judge him by the goals and assists.
No, you can't. But I'm saying if a guy comes into a new league and does, let's say, let's say does 7 goals and 8 assists, you're going to say right away that, oh my gosh, he was a major impact in the season.
Kevin says the following. He says that significant impact from a player who doesn't know the English Premier League, ? Give him 6 months to learn the pace of this league. Do you think that could be
I don't think so. I mean, we're talking about a guy he's played European level football. I don't think the pace of the game is going to be an issue for him. He not only has played international level competition, playing for his country with Japan. He's also played in European competitions in the Europa League. I don't think the pace is going to be an issue for him at all.
And I'm sure you guys saw it when they put it on the website. He scored against West Ham in Europe.
Facts. Who owns London already?
Exactly. Yeah. So adjusting to at least the London team, the EPL won't be a problem for him. That's for sure.
I think he's got experience. We're talking about 27-year-old player. I mean, with France, with players like France, etc., I think it's a good debate to have because they're young players coming over from Brazil, haven't had that many senior appearances. But we're talking about a player that knows Glasner, that's played in European competitions, that's played against English clubs. And for that reason, I think he is ready and fit to be, to play for Palace whenever he's needed and called upon. So I don't think that would happen. Mika saying, good evening from Frankfurt. Well done. He often played 10 position with Lindstorm in Frankfurt, so he could play Elise Part 2. Thank you for that comment.
Cheers,
Patrick saying, do you think they're going to bring in we'll bring that up because there was a news from
I got a source that I can talk about with that too.
Exactly. We'll talk about all of that. Just let's stay on topic. I think we've answered some very good questions so far and some good talking points. So if you join us now, make sure to watch at the start of the show. Mike saying, does this mean IU could leave? No.
I don't think so. No, I mean, right now, as things stand, I don't see that happening. I don't think the chances of IU leaving accelerates until we bring in another player. And even then, it may go up, but still, it may not happen because once again, IU brings a lot of value in terms of his positional versatility as well. The fact that we can deploy him out there at striker, the fact that we can deploy him out there in those dual 10 positions, we know he's going to work his socks off wherever we put him. So it may increase if we bring in another player, but I don't think it necessarily says, "Hey, IU's going."
And for me, had he not signed a 1-year contract extension, I would say possibility. But you don't sign a contract and get sold that same season. It's very rare. We just wouldn't have signed him back. I think when he signed, they had Glasgow had a plan to keep him as obviously use him less. I get that part, but I don't think he had a plan to. We'll sign him then sell him. I don't see that happening. His age, the like T said, the versatility. I don't see them. And what's the value going to get out of IU? And what's the point? I would just keep him for another year and let his contract expire. He's done a great job for us. I don't see the point. And I think that his versatility means that he can mentor some of the younger kids. I wouldn't get rid of him at all.
And also, there's nothing wrong with having IU in the squad if he's just a squad player. I think he's a fantastic squad player. The problem that we've had is that he's a starter and he's had some very good times for Palace, but it's just his production levels. Normally, it's not going to.
He's quality depth. He's quality depth. I would say that.
Yeah, you can't have IU starting week in, week out if you want to play European football. Let's just say that. Well, you can have IU there, cup games, rotation, injuries. I think he's a fantastic player. Remember, it's a squad game. It's a squad game. It's not just 11. It's not just 15. Like, you have some players on the bench that might get injured, and IU comes on, and IU has more minutes and picks up their minutes. So you just need players. You just need players there. And I think IU is a very good player to have in the squad. There's no problem with that. As long as he remains a squad player, which he will do, because we saw it under Glasner. Glasner was, the first manager to kind of say, when everyone's fit, IU, you're not going to be playing. And that's how it should be. Like, it just, when Eze Elise was fit, IU just doesn't find a spot in this squad. And a lot of managers struggle with IU or Schlapp. They just somehow, even Vieira always, IU was still playing, and he would put Elise as like a midfielder or like a number 10, and he would always put IU down. I think sometimes, just move on from that IU aspect, and I think we are doing that as a football club now, so I have no worries with him. Adam was saying Munoz was a Premier League virgin too, and look what he did. Exactly.
Bang. Spot on.
Great point.
Yeah, great point.
Warden the same.
Exactly. As long as we scout, and look, and we're talking about Wharton and Munoz, who Glasner didn't work under, who didn't have no Premier League experience, who for Wharton, young player. So if it worked out for Wharton and Munoz, I have no worries about Kamada. I mean, a player that's 27 years old, that's played European football, that knows Glasner. I think the chance of them succeeding is much higher on paper anyways than those two players who have already succeeded. Let's Palace Hunter saying full support for Daichi. So let's because there are some other topics that I need to get into today. Not just a reaction. We have to, because there's some interesting names and interesting depth options that's being mentioned. So we'll talk about that. And I think the chat is already kind of talking about one of the players that I want to talk about, which is a funny name to replace Elise with potentially this player. Which I think Patrick would love. Patrick loves rumors.
Wait, is it the rumor section starting? Because I'm gonna jump off. No, I'm going to jump off.
Patrick's only here for the reaction.
I'm here for Sessignon because he's in the building. But y'all can talk about us, the ranks, and wherever you want to talk about later. I'll just be in the background because I ain't.
There's a player that starts with a Z as well that you know much about as well. Which,
I think he was going to talk about Senior Wilfred.
Yeah, Senior Wilfred. We'll mention it because that happened over the weekend.
Rumors, gotcha.
Yeah, rumors, but you're here, so we might as well get your pulse as well.
Hey,
I don't know what you're doing.
Good, how's everything?
Yeah, you better change that because he's not Crystal Palace player anymore. You might have to put on the Zaha shush emoji. What happened to T? Oh, T, I think I had to go.
I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it.
I think he's not fond of the rumors as well, but yeah. Kevin, just quickly. Kevin's saying, watch and learn. My Munoz gives me a team to follow at Copa. Now I'll have a team to follow in Asian Championships. And yeah, from a business point of view as well for Kamada, I think that's even on the website and an announcement. You can translate it
it's amazing, right? Yeah, Japanese.
Yeah. So cool. It's good. It's good to go that because there are Palace fans over in that side of the world. So it's good to have
absolutely
a player that relates to them as well. But look, people, before we do actually move on, that's what I was thinking about. Let's get your numbers out of 10. A score out of 10 for the Kamada signing. What do you think out of 10? 1 being absolutely bad, 10 being amazing. Let us know in the chat. We're going to give our ratings now. Patrick, Kamada signing out of 10?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Again, the familiarity, adaptability, his skill level. I would give him an 8 out of 10. So and it was only cost his salary. It was a free. So it's another brilliant job by Dougie and Glasner. 8 for me. 8 out of 10.
I don't know why. 9 out of 10? I don't know. Like, it's a player that Glasner knows. Yeah. His experience, he would be in a quality depth option. We'll see what the future holds in terms of who we sign as Elise's replacement. But a quality player to have, and we got him on free signing. Look, I'm very excited. He's delivered. He scored against London clubs or English clubs as well in his previous clubs. He loves to play for an Eagle. I think the only club he's played for throughout his career has just been Eagle, Lazio, Frankfurt. So I don't know what his obsession
That's
with
funny,
Eagles.
By the way. That's funny.
Eagles
or bird. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Let's see what the chat thinks as well. JSP saying 8. Animal saying 9 out of 10. I really believe he's going to bring it. Hilzo saying 9. Kevin saying 8.5. Ezedinho 8.5. Mika saying 9.5 because he does not cost a fee, maybe some signing fee. Yeah, look, it's overall it's a brilliant bit of business for Palace. So I don't think anyone would give it below an 8. I'll be very surprised if they do. But let's see. We're all excited. He's finally here, officially announced. Now, let's see how well he does for Glasner. Now, let's move on to rumors, which we have to do. And Patrick, I know you're here. I know you hate it. But
where's T? Is he coming back?
Yeah, I think T's just giving up.
Get him back. Get him back.
Yeah. Paul saying 7 out of 10 as well. We're going to get T back. We'll get his thoughts as well. I think he's just doing something work-related, so he just had to quickly jump out. He's going to be coming back. Who should we start with? Ryan Sessegnon? Go on, let's start with Ryan Sessegnon.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, Patrick's saying, do you think they're going to bring in Ryan Sessegnon for competition for Mitchell? And the reason for that is David Ornstein has reported that Sessegnon is actually training at Crystal Palace. For those who have been watching the Palace News episodes, me and T have been speaking about him. We've been kind of manifesting it to happen for the right fee. Look, he got released, and then afterwards there were rumors about him potentially joining Palace. But according to the reports, he is training. He is training at Palace. Patrick, for me, I know he's had injury concerns, but I think it makes sense if he's willing to fight for the competition. I'm a bit surprised. I thought maybe he might join a club that guarantees him that starter role, which Palace doesn't, because it'll be him and Mitchell battling it out. But for you, another low risk opportunity. Of course, he hasn't signed. He's still training so far. It's a win-win. He trains. If he's good enough, then we sign him. If guys are not happy, then we move on, right?
Right. The only issue obviously is the injury issue, but just his background. He's on the U17 team with Gallagher, Gahey, that won the World Cup. Quality player. Can play wing back, can play left back, traditional. We 100% need someone to get in there and give Ty a break and or push him every once in a while up those levels. That would make him a better player. So if he's available and is fit, I would love the signing, I think, again, because it's a free. If we were going to pay money for him, I wouldn't be as excited about it. But the fact it's a free, I think he would be quality. He's a London kid also. I think it would be a great move. Again, my only issue with it is how was his ham? I believe it's a hamstring injury he's coming off, right? That was a hamstring coming off.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that's my net. And those things can go on for a while. But that aside, I think if he's already in the building training, I think it's a good idea to get Glasner and get a look at him and see if he's going to be able to. Again, we need a left back backup. I mean, right back, I'm not concerned about anymore. We have Klein. Obviously, we signed Klein, but left back, we have to have someone to either push Mitchell or just give him a check. There was some time last year when you could tell Mitchell was injured and or just suffering, and we didn't have anybody.
You just need depth. You need depth. You need to be able to rotate in cup games and this and that.
Yep.
I mean, we had depth basically with Gyro, which he's gone, and still then Gyro isn't a left wing back.
Not a left back. This guy is he's a genuine left back, left wing back. So yeah,
exactly.
I like it again if he's fit, 100%.
Yeah, as long as he's fit, if he's training with a football club, I think wages shouldn't be a problem. I think that will probably be agreed on if he was to sign as well. And I did see someone say that he's healed from them hamstring injuries. I think he's had the surgeries and everything should be all fine now. So as long as those injuries, I mean, there are concerns there. It's not like 100% risk-free deal, but the fact that there's no transfer fee involved, I think it could be a very good move. But then again, Patrick, when you look at the situation, what does this mean for Teo? Teo that we spoke about, saying that he might get maybe opportunities in preseason. Is this basically a write-off already for Teo if Sessegnon wants to join?
Not a write-off. What you can do, you send him out on loan to a high-quality championship side or at least a League One side and get him some true experience. Last year, Molenbeek, he played, but they didn't do well. They got relegated. So I like to see him play in England, somewhere local, hopefully, and play a full season, and then actually get to see him play. But no, absolutely not. He's only the kid's 20 years old. He's young. He's got time to develop. And at that point, you got Sessegnon and Mitchell. Like when you have John Stone and Henderson, at some point you sell one of them, right? And you get money for him, and you got Teo as your backup. No, I think it's a great opportunity for Teo to go out on loan. Doesn't affect him one bit. He's not going to play this year. Much I'd like him to. So for me, it gives Teo another year to develop, and you've got two players who will play hard this season. Again, it'll be the Henderson Johnston situation by end of next season. One of them will end up going, and you get decent amount for one of them, and you move on. So no, I think it's fine.
Let's see. Hopefully he does perform. Hopefully, because look, a lot of people. I know stock's gone down, but Sessegnon at his time was the next big thing. Like, he was very young. A lot of clubs were after him. That's why he's even signed for Tottenham as well. Like, he's not a bum. The only problem he's had is injuries. Injuries. If he puts his head down and if there's no injury concerns, we can have a real gem. Like, this player had so much talent in him, and a player that could push Mitchell, who's been performing fantastically under Glasner. So it's a win-win situation, I think, anyways, if it was to happen. So let's see in that aspect if Palace do actually go for him, and if they do, then I've no problems with that, because that means the wages and everything will be fine. But let us know your thoughts as well. Would you want Sessegnon, who's currently training at Palace, to sign for Palace? And let's see what happens with Teo as well. Yeah,
real quick, looking at the numbers for Sessegnon. He was at Fulham 2016-17, played 30 games. 2017-18, 52. 2018-19, 38. And then went to went to Spurs, played 12 matches. Then apparently how Glasner knows him was at Hoffenheim for a season, 2020-21. He had played 29 games. Then he's played 21, 23, and then one last season. So when he's fit, he plays a lot of games, which is the key. And let me tell you, wow. You know what? 2017-18, he had 16 goals and 8 assists for Fulham. Bloody hell.
He was very good. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
very good player. Like,
that's when he was young, too. That's when he's like 18 years old. So, yeah.
As a young player, he was killing it, man. He was killing it. He was getting good numbers. He was
all about fitness, man. It's all about fitness.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a really good pickup.
And then that would be good. But on a free transfer, then if the club wants to take the risk, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
why not? No, we haven't got much to lose. But let us know your thoughts in the comment section as well. Now, let's talk about, I know there's some comments about Gahey, and some people did put out a question about him, and we'll talk about him because he's been fantastic for England. By the way, people, if you're enjoying it, hit the like button and subscribe if you can, please. Help us grow the channel, and it's massive. So thanks to every single one of you that's done that already. Bring back Zaha. I never thought this topic will come up again, but Paul might be saying this because of the rumors over the weekend that Zaha could be potentially moving back to the Premier League, with a few Premier League clubs, including Crystal Palace, rumored to be of interest. Now, this is a funny subject because I think there's going to be two sides to this, and let us, get involved in the chat. Let us know where you stand. Now, Patrick, of course, there's nothing significant in this so far in this report. It's not saying Palace are moving, advancing, or anything like that. Zaha could be potentially coming back to the Premier League, and Palace are interested. Would you want him back, or is that ship sailed now?
I don't really have an opinion either way. I would have a point if he came back. I don't have a point if he doesn't come back. I mean, everybody knows I'm a massive Will fan, and I didn't want him to leave. But I wanted him to have opportunity to go to a better, opportunity to play in Europe, etc. He did that, win some a medal. I think he won 2 in Galatasaray. Does that other one count? The cup? Does that count that he won? That you guys didn't want to show?
It does technically, but he didn't even play in it. The game didn't even happen.
So the man, he goes to Turkey and won the double. So I mean, listen. If he wants to come back, I really don't have an opinion on it. I really don't. I don't care if he comes back or not. It doesn't matter to me either way. I'm not one of the people who say, oh man, the ship has sailed, but I'm also not one that says, oh, please come back. If he came back, I'd be 100% behind him. If he doesn't come back, I got no problem. Whatever Will wants to do, let Will do. Don't go to West Ham, but that aside, go wherever you want. I don't really care at this point.
I don't know. I just feel like the ship has sailed.
Yeah, fine.
I feel like
that's fair.
If we're looking at Elise's replacement, to replace Zaha with Elise, then bring in Elise.
Sounds like Palace to me.
Yeah,
you're the same guy that wanted to bring back Wan-Bissaka to replace Klein. So I don't want to hear that nonsense.
Yeah, but that's
don't give me that nonsense.
That's a bit different. It's different.
How's that different? It's the same thing. Saka replace Klein, and then Klein replace
Wan-Bissaka would be an
Wan-Bissaka.
improvement on Klein. I mean, you're not going to find that many improvements on Elise, but I'd rather go down the youth route
That's a
instead of
great
bringing
point,
back
yeah.
Will.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not really for it. I think that should be sailed. But T, for you?
I mean, I wouldn't. I'd be still happy if Wolf decided to come back because I got a lot of love for Wolf. That's just the truth of it.
I wouldn't be upset. I just think it's not. I don't know. If
I
it's
think
smart.
I think as far as like I think it helps us in the immediacy of things as far as having quality players, quality depth immediately compared to building for the future like we've been doing with adding younger guys who may not be as ready right now in certain respects. But I think with what we've done already, the players that we've already brought in, if we brought in Wilf, I wouldn't be upset about it, but I'm not like a hard no.
Kevin
Wait,
saying,
D, you said replace Olise. Doesn't he play on the other side?
yeah, I was thinking as well.
I mean, but didn't he start his career on the like, he's played. Yeah, he's played a significant amount on both
sides. But in Turkey, I'm pretty sure he played on the other side for Turkey.
Well, I think if Eze's staying, if Eze does stay, then he's not going to be playing ahead of Eze. So I think it'll be down the right.
He's pretty decent with left foot.
I think you just have to adapt and play down the right, which even then there's question marks about
exactly. Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it really?
I wouldn't like him to be at another Prem side though. That's my thing. Like if he's going to come back to the Premier League,
but he shouldn't go to Turkey. He shouldn't go to Galatasaray. That's like
man, you are. No, but
hey man, he did what he meant to do by going to Galatasaray. He won. Guess what? If he went to Fenerbahce, what would he have won last year if he went to Fenerbahce? Other than your respect, D. What would he have done?
I'm just saying he didn't do what he meant to do because he was there.
What do you mean? He won. He got silverware. He won. He
got silverware, but he's not the happiest man. I mean,
he played in Europe, and he played in Europe, so he got everything that he wanted to do. If he went to Fenerbahce, he would have got none of that.
4 games in Europe. Yeah, that's great.
He wouldn't have got none of that. If he would have Fenerbahce, he would have got none of that.
He played 4 games in the Champions League. As I said, Galatasaray never.
That was more than he would have done with Fenerbahce.
Never going to get out of the group. So if that was it, then that's fine. But
I mean, would he have done it if he played? Would he have played in Europe if he went to Fenerbahce?
But it kind of shows where that moves at.
My man,
he's
so
so
happy. He went to do what he wanted to do.
And faulty, amazing.
If he's so happy about the Turkish league and winning trophies, then he would stay in Turkey another year, or he'd go to another club. I don't know. Maybe he can do the Batshuayi. Batshuayi's gone from Fenerbahce to Galatasaray. Maybe he can go from
Batshuayi ain't won nothing yet either. He ain't won nothing yet either.
Yeah, but that's what. But I don't think about it. I think
maybe he stays in Fenerbahce. Maybe if he won some in Fenerbahce, he'd still be there.
Nah, not really. I mean,
a snake is a snake.
A snake is a snake.
Facts. There we go. There we go. That's all. Okay, fans. There you go.
I don't think that changes anything. You don't go from. Batshuayi is worse than Zaha, by the way. Zaha is sort of going Galatasaray. Batshuayi is crazy. That guy has lost.
He went to both clubs. That's crazy. I didn't even know.
He's leaving Fenerbahce to go Galatasaray. He's just lost.
I didn't realize that.
Patrick, if Fenerbahce would have won the league and Batshuayi had something to do with it, Batshuayi is one of the best guys in the world right now. You know that, right?
Well, I don't know. Maybe in your world, not my world. One of the best
Batshuayi
guys.
scores the winner. Michi, I've always loved you. Palace forever.
No. I mean, let's see what happens, though. Let's see what happens with Batshuayi. But I don't care about Batshuayi. Let's see what happens with Wilf. Because I did say that it's a very important part of his career, that Galatasaray move. If he doesn't play and if his stocks go down, he might struggle and he might not get as many minutes. So, yeah, so he needs to make the right move this summer.
But D, to be fair, you don't think that Champions League, okay, you'll say whatever about the medals. He was part of it. I mean, yeah, in the season he played a significant part in the beginning of the season. I don't think he got a lot out of the fact he went to Turkey. He got paid, obviously, but he also paid Champions League. He wouldn't have done that for anybody else. And he wouldn't have gotten a title. I mean, he got
that's what he wants. Fair enough, but it's.
I mean, he's 31 years old. Yeah.
Then why? Let's see if he leaves or not. But why leave now if Champions League is that important? If he wants to play 3 games in Champions League,
because he had a fallout with the coach. You know that better than I. He and the coach fell out. clearly fell out with the coach.
Yeah,
He even mentioned that on social
does,
media.
That
so.
does change a significant amount because
Yeah,
obviously the manager's not going to go anywhere because they won.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. He won the title, so he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, so he's got to make a move at that point.
Well,
Not to mention, he was. I mean, you're gonna have a fallout with the guy who's probably the highest paid dude on the team anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like,
one
that's
of,
yeah. That's,
one
that's
of. I don't know if he's the highest paid. I think that
I said one. Yeah, one of. I meant one of the highest paid. Excuse me. You know what I mean? Like that's significant.
Yeah, I mean, good. Best of luck to him. I personally wouldn't be upset if he came back to Palace. I loved him to bits. I still love him. What if he doesn't play for guys? It's all right. When he leaves, that love will come
what
back.
If Fenerbahce come calling, man? You know what I'm saying? What if he decide to go ahead and make that switch? You know,
I don't think
go ahead
he
and go over
Fenerbahce. I
Fenerbahce.
think he's on the bench there as well. So
really?
Yeah. I don't think he plays for Fenerbahce. We got proper players. So yeah, I don't think he'll. And plus,
who was your number 9 this year?
Dzeko.
Dzeko. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Where did Batshuayi play? As a 10?
On the bench. And then came off 3 times.
I saw a lot of games for you guys. I watched a lot of games. I saw him play a lot.
Yeah, if you want to swap players, then Zaha can come through. Like, feel free, man. Feel free. There's a spot open there now because Batshuayi's gone over to that side.
I'm going to do this now. I'm going to look up Batshuayi last year because I swear he played a lot more than bench. But let's just look this up. That is mad. You're just stating like you're just talking like
he made it seem like Batshuayi made no appearances.
Batshuayi, T, you ready? 43 games, 24 goals, but he played bench. See, man,
dude, how can you talk bad about that man?
I know. You just
wait for Fenerbahce's guy to sorry.
Stop
43 matches,
Stop
24 goals.
Now, I wasn't following. I thought maybe he didn't do nothing for y'all.
Hold on.
It's legitimate to say. It's legitimate to say that if Batshuayi is not on y'all team, y'all don't have that good of a season. 24 goals, man. Come on now.
No, but how many appearances off the bench? There's that as well.
It doesn't matter, bro. I scored 24 goals for your team, bro.
Next season, by the way. Hopefully.
I scored 24 goals. And if Kamada comes off our bench all season long and he scores 24 goals for us, how are you going to feel about him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Batshuayi is a snake, so I don't. Why are we talking about Batshuayi? We're talking about Zaha here. I mean, let's see if Zaha comes back.
My man, D is the kind of fan that every club should want, man. It's like if you're not us, you suck. You're the worst.
Yeah, man.
You're a snake.
The fanatic part of fan. That's what he is. He's a fanatic. I get it.
I mean, they can have their manager. We got Jose Mourinho, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And until that goes tits up, and Jose Mourinho is the worst manager
we're winning.
to ever
100%.
play the game.
We're winning the league next year. 100%. It's so confirmed. It's so ready. Like it's gonna happen. We're not playing about next year, so we'll see. Let's talk quickly about Gahey, which a few people were mentioning in the chat as well. He's having a very, very good what do you call it? Euros. I was saying I've noticed people saying Gahey is overpriced in recent weeks. Surely he's the same or more than a Brownwaite valuation. I mean,
that's absolutely wild to me.
Why would he? I don't think he's overpriced. I think he's proven his price.
I think he's underpriced. He's underpriced, man. What are you talking about? You got guys like Matthias de Ligt that are still out there, not even playing for the Netherlands, and Bayern still wants 80 million for him. But you got a guy like Mark Gahey out there, and people are saying he's overvalued at 50 million pounds. Come on, man.
How much is Gahey then worth to Palace? I said it on this channel a few times. I thought he would have left this summer, but I mean the Euros talk, and Elise leaving. It seems like we want to give him a new contract. But how much do you think Gahey's worth for Palace right now, then, Patrick?
I'm staying at 80, man. Like my bar is Harry Maguire, man. He's still like, I'm sorry, still 80 for me.
80 for you as well, Patrick?
Yeah, I'm the same way. If Brantford worked 75 and could get England squad, he should have been, but he wasn't. And Gahey's starting and playing really well. Bar like one mistake in a game, which everyone makes a mistake in a game. He's definitely up to 80. But for me,
he's been one of the best players, one of the best players for England.
Yeah, no, he has been. For me, it's important that we sign him, make him captain for the next 5-6 years. He's got to stay around. We cannot lose Mark Gahey. Some people are actually talking nonsense about selling him this summer. I couldn't believe people saying that. I always said you can't sell Mark Gahey.
He's not best defender. I would have been open to selling him if that meant we kept the Elisa or not. But he's not best defender. I've
I
said
honestly
it.
think one of the reasons why we haven't sold him is because teams understand how much it's going to take to get him. Like as much as the media says 50 million is, like I think teams understand what it takes to get a high level center back. Like every time you see a level center back move, the Van Dykes, the Harry Maguire, I keep having to say his name, the Matthias
You're
DeLicht.
in love with Harry Maguire, you always mention him when you compare to Kane. Maybe
But it's because it's all about the fact I'm really the real weight of it all to me is English starting center back moving in the Premier League. That's it. It's really the template more than the player. You know what I'm saying? And even then, when Maguire made that move, he was coming from a team like Leicester too. You know what I'm saying? Like so that fits the mold too in a lot of ways. So I think it's more the template of the comparison because he makes the most sense as far as what his scenario was before he made the move.
So Spiritual makes a great point about not being worth that money he plays for Palace, but now that you see him play for England and how good he's played, you see how much he's right. Before play for England, people didn't see the value. Why are they playing gay here, etc. But you see him now playing for England. They're gonna wait till Saturday when Switzerland he's not playing because he's suspended. Watch how much we miss him. We be in England on Saturday because they're gonna miss him a lot in that game. So no, I think that Spiritual's
They're
right.
still
Man.
trying to figure out who's gonna play in his place.
The only problem with Gahey is his contract. The problem with Gahey is his contract.
He's got 2 years left, right?
He's got 2 years left, and
he's got 2 years
you
left.
Don't want his contract to run down to his final year, and then it'll be cheaper.
You gave Elise Eze money last year. You got money. Just give him the
But
bag.
I wonder if he wants a similar type
There have been
of
the
deal.
rumors, but there have been the rumors that have come out that he's going to go to the negotiating table after the Euro. So
yeah, I just don't want him to get a release clause of like 60 mil or something like that. I just feel like even with Elise, it's good money, but it's just
the reason why I don't see that happening. The reason why I don't see that happening right now because right now, I mean, like you can take 60 million for him right now. So why give him a release clause of 60 million in a new contract when you could easily take 60 million right now for him? You know what I mean? Like what sense does that make? If you don't want to move him right now, for 60 million, why put a $60 million clause in later? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, as long as he has like a release clause of around £8 million, if he signs a new deal, then I'm happy with that. But that's the biggest part with Gahey. It's like his contract. He hasn't got 5 years left in his contract. He's got 2 years, and next summer that'll only go down to a year. And what happens if he doesn't sign a new deal? Then how much is it worth then? So there are some real question marks about his contract situation. So as long as we get that solved, then 100% keep Gahey at the football club. There's no problem with that. Look, we're gonna wrap up.
Can I chime in with something real quick? Because I know I had to step off. The CEO of my school literally walked in my office. But I know that I overheard that you all were talking about Sessignon, and I just wanted to mention this really quickly. I was actually talking on X with one of my followers and somebody I follow as well to go back and forth. My man Lou KF93 on Twitter if y'all want to look him up. So apparently he's really cool with Ryan Sessignon's brother, Chris. And he shows me screenshots of their conversation. And Chris is super hyped for his brother to be able to join us. Said that Ryan is really, really excited about it too. That he's in the shape of his life right now. And the surgeries that he had on his hamstring should pay off huge dividends. And that we're getting a hell of a player. And he thinks that Palace is going to be a perfect fit for him. So shout out to Lou with the intel, man. Appreciate that.
That's good. That's good. I mean, look, Palace will do their tests as well, but it's good to hear that he's happy and he wants to play for Palace potentially. So as long as he impresses in pre-season or in training, I don't know how long he's going to have. It's basically like trials. How long he's going to be on the trial for Palace? I'm happy. I think that's it fits Sessegnon being behind or fighting with Mitchell because God knows who's going to be the number one starting left back. That's a very good problem to have.
And he was also saying that we also had the luxury of being able to play him not just in competition with somebody like Mitchell, but also being able to play him in a more advanced attacking role too.
Yeah,
because he has that acumen.
Yes. But I don't know if I would play him there. But yeah, technically, yeah, you can play him a bit more of an advanced.
Do you know?
Yeah.
He's a twin. He's a twin brother.
Yep, he has a twin brother, Steven. Yep.
He plays, his brother.
He's in the
plays-
championship. His brother's in the
Yeah.
championship.
Is that
Yeah.
Wigan? I think they're on League.
Yeah.
In League One now? League Two? Oh, League One.
Yeah. So they got the brothers there. But let's see what happens. But look, people, that's it from us. We spoke about quite a few stuff. Kamada, Sessegnon, Zaha, and Gehi. As always, if you have enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe to Nomicide future content. We will be back covering all the latest Palace news as normal. That's it from me, Patrick, and T. Until next time, up the Palace.